Okay, good evening. This is activist and journalist Teddy Parham here with Chris Dorsey, the new sheriff, and we've got a beautiful young lady that's going to give us a testimony about some of the things that have happened in the city of Richmond in the jail when she was there. Darling, go ahead and give us your name.
My name is Micheline Wall. I was in the city jail 2010 for about 90 days for a driving without a license. My first week there, I saw a young lady lose her child, have a miscarriage, because the deputies there did not believe she was having stomach pains. She was not released to make funeral arrangements. I let the young lady use some time on my minutes on my phone so she could make funeral arrangements for her child. I've never seen such conditions in my life. You're disrespected there. When you go there, you felt like you are lower than scum. You are lower than anything even imaginable. I prayed every night that I would be released, and that experience changed my whole life.
Oh, Lord. So the young lady was probably in labor.
Yes, I would say she was about 6 to 7 months.
Okay, so she had early labor.
Yes.
And they didn't believe that she was...
They ignored her totally.
And as a result...
As inmates, we came together and we helped her as best we could, and we let the deputies know over and over again. By the time they did come, I'm talking about in the middle of the night, this started early morning, in the middle of the night, she lost her baby.
Okay, she went through all that pain and stuff.
Yes.
Oh, Lord, have mercy, Jesus. Sheriff, what would you do about a situation like that? How can you make a difference and a change? Because people know this thing has been going on for 8 years with Woody, and then we had Mitchell in there, Michelle Mitchell, and she was just as bad and deadly. What could you do to make a difference once you get in the office, Sheriff?
Well, first of all, I'd just like to say that that's a crime, what was described. That's a violation of Amendment 8 to the United States Constitution, and that prohibits cruel and unusual punishment, which is the only treatment people get at the Richmond City Jail. And this is maybe a slightly more egregious case than the average status quo situation in the jail, but this happens far too often. It's a crime. The people who carry out this crime, they must be held accountable under the law. Now, it sounds like this situation could have been averted very easily. You see, people under care of the state, which are anybody incarcerated in the Richmond jail, they are guaranteed medical treatment. And when medical treatment is withheld, there needs to be an investigation, especially when a death occurs, especially when injury occurs to parties that under the law cannot be treated like that. We have certain rights in this country, and first and foremost, I'd like to say that when I'm a sheriff in the Richmond City Jail, we're not going to put people in jail for driving on a suspended license. That's not a crime, and that's not something people must be put in jail for. That can't stand anymore. That's why we have the biggest prison population on the planet, because everything that people do in their daily life that they have to do, they are subject to be arrested by an entity that truly has no authority and acts outside of the law in just about every instance. I don't want to go on too long, and the most powerful part of the story has already been said before I began talking. So I'd just like to thank everybody, and you know, I'd like to say we need to stop tolerating this stuff. It's not something that the government has any authority to do. And again, we're all human beings. Stop taking this nonsense from your government. They don't have any authority to treat you like that. Stand up. Stand up for your rights. They're guaranteed. They will take them away from you if you don't stand up.
Amen.
Thank you.
And what did you say your name was again one more time, darling?
Micheline Wall.
Micheline Walls. You get this live with Teddy Parham, Chris Dorsey, and Micheline. And I'm sorry for the loss of the baby. And that had to destroy her.
Men that's hurting there, it's the women too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There are men and women. It's bad being raped,
I know the men
abused.
is very deplorable, but it's the women too.
Oh yeah.
Not
Gina
just,
Jeffries.
not just the men, but the women too.
Everybody. It's the workers who are not the sadistic people too. They have to work in those conditions too.
Right.
It's just a totally abusive situation, and everybody's being abused. Everybody is participating in the abuse, whether they're victims or whether they're perpetrators. And we don't want a system based on abuse. We want a system based on the law and justice. And when that happens, the prison population will shrink. It will be hardly anything, and the people who are in there, they will get treatment for their problems, and at the very least, they will have constitutional rights and guarantees. You know, that's it. That's the beginning and end. Everything this government does is a violation of the law of this document that they swear an oath to uphold. So not only are these people criminals, they're also dishonorable human beings who swear an oath to uphold something and then do the complete opposite. So we're not going to have that anymore.
But you know what really gets me? Why is it that they call these suckers honorable? Honorable Mayor Jones. There ain't nothing honorable about that sucker. Honorable city council members.
Because that's how they work. Rule by deception. They change the meaning of words. They comprehend that words are something that people like and people identify with. So they don't even have to act in a certain way. They just have to use a word. And if people repeat it enough, they'll start thinking
believing
it's true. Yeah.
Well, I thank you, darling. Thank you, Mr. Dorsey. Good job. All we want is the truth to be known. No fabrications, just the truth. You will pay for that. In 2010, was Kizzy there?
Yeah, Kizzy was there.
Kizzy?
Oh, Woody was there. We're talking about the Kizzy is another candidate for sheriff. He was there.
But he been there over 30 years. That sucker been there and watched and saw everything.
He's seen everything.
He done seen it all.
One sergeant lady, she was pretty okay, but Sheriff Woody ended up firing her. After she was fired. I think she sued the city too. And she was fired. But she was, I couldn't believe out of all the deputies, she was the most compassionate. Why would you fire that?
Because she had compassion, that's why.
Your own question. How do you think a person can, with compassion can operate in a place like that?
When you went to her with a complaint, she actually listened. She actually listened.
Do you remember her name?
She was either a sergeant or a lieutenant. She was the highest person there as far as the women was concerned.
Excuse me, baby.
Well, I just must say it. It's got to stop. And nothing's going to stop until somebody actually goes in and says, we're going to put our foot down. The FBI's been in there to investigate this stuff, and they cover everything up. The state has been inside to investigate.
And they cover everything up.
They cover it all up. So it's going to be up to the people, because the people are the only ones that have a choice, so they have to go out and vote on November 5th.
And it's a lot of people that don't know what's going on in there because they've never been in there. They've never been there. But once you go there, that's an experience you will remember for the rest of your life.
Wow.
I know they say, you know, you do the crime, you do the time. I understand that fully and completely.
But you didn't commit a crime.
I was driving. I drove to work, and I drove my kids to daycare. I couldn't pay my bills, pay the tickets all at the same time.
Understood.
This is all gotta stop.
Understood.
When you're a single parent making $7.25 and you get a ticket, and you know, for maybe not having correct registration, my registration or whatever, then they stop you and they give you a ticket. You don't have the money to pay the ticket. You going to jail.
That's right. Yeah. And the fines are unreasonable.
Right
the
now,
fines
I'm trying
were
to get
set.
my license back. Get even just a restricted license, just so I don't have to ride the bus, so I can drive to work and pick up my kids, and don't have to spend 2 hours back and forth from work. Because I stay on the line, Jeff Davis, Chesterfield, Richmond. I stay on that borderline. It's not a lot of transportation out there. It takes me about 2 hours to get to work.
Yep.
We're going to change that. Give Chris Dorsey your information, your contact information.
I got his number.
Okay. And
have
you
a
can
website, or
find,
do you-
Endorse it with
uh-huh.
Sheriff.com.
Okay, all right.
And you can find this information online. Did you put mine on there so she can see the video? Put mine on the back so she can see the video, because it's going all around the world, baby girl. This going all around the world.
Here,
And you'll be a star along with the other couple of hundred people. So it was a good thing that the Father had you sitting here today.
Amen.
For a reason. Amen and amen. We're going to make sure that it don't happen to nobody else. The native baby that was aborted. That's like early abortion because of the fact that she didn't have that prenatal care.
It's Teddy Parham at yahoo.com.
Uh-huh.
They think they doing something by giving you an extra milk at lunch and at breakfast time. Like that's really doing
Yeah,
something for that
yeah,
girl.
like they're supposed to
Extra
fix up the calcium. They out of their minds. And I'm Teddy Parham. You can find me on Facebook, TEDDYPARHAM, and hit enter. And watch all the good news come up. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter,
Hey,
MySpace.
what's the good number? I should put down?
399 4897.
4897.
All right, thank you.
Thank you,
Y'all have a
baby.
wonderful day.
Be
Keep doing
blessed.
your good work.
We'll be talking to you.
You
We
know-
gonna pray for you. God gonna change things.
Yeah.
Oh, and my
See?
season is coming, honey.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And
My
you will be
season's
able to
coming.
sit back and enjoy. And I'm sorry you had to experience
Yeah,
that,
I'm
because
very
that
sorry
had to
about
been
that.
traumatic.
It is trauma.
Yes.
That's how they run.
Yes.
Trauma-based mind control.
But you know what I saw last night sitting up at 4 o'clock this morning?
What's that?
The movie with Al Pacino and Justice for All. That is a terrible movie about the criminal justice system, the dishonest judges and everything. This is Teddy Parham, over and out.